resource, Cambridge Checkpoint English, Coursebook 7, Unit 1, House and Home, pages 2 to 4. Learning objectives. Upon completion of this lesson, students will be able to identify elements of a descriptive essay, classify the structure of a descriptive essay, and compose a descriptive essay. A descriptive essay paints a picture with words. Observation is the key to write a good description. To produce an effective descriptive essay, you have to observe and feel more than a common man. You have to engage your senses more than a common man. When you're writing something imaginative, such as a story or an account of an interesting personal experience, you can make your writing more effective by including detailed descriptions of people and places. The purpose of a descriptive essay is to describe something such as a person, object, place, or even a situation. A good description helps the reader see, hear, smell, taste, and feel something that the writer has experienced. Its aim is to involve the reader. Elements of a descriptive essay. There are certain important elements of a descriptive writing. Use of figurative language, give sensory detail, create dominant impression, write in precise language, careful organization of events and feelings. Figurative language is the language that uses words or expressions with a meaning that is different from the literal interpretations. On the figure of resemblance and relationship, a writer uses simile, metaphor, and personification. Simile is a direct comparison. It is a comparison between two unlike things. Like Sarah is a young girl, but she is like a withered tree. Metaphor is an implicit or hidden comparison that is unrelated but shares some common characteristics. The writer says, "The curtain of night fell upon us." Personification is giving human characteristics to non-human. For example, the sun kissed my cheeks when I went outside. Hyperbole is the expression of exaggeration. For example, the blacksmith's hand was harder than the rock. The old man was older than the Himalayas. Onomatopoeia and alliteration are figures of sound. They create musical effects in writing. For example, the title of Emily Dickinson's poem, "The Soul Selects Her Own Society," is a good example of alliteration. Another important element of descriptive writing is sensory detail. It tells what the writer has experienced. Writer implies the five senses to engage a reader's interest. Sensory details create a vivid mental image. Sense of sight creates beautiful imagery. It indicates color, shape, or appearance. The writer says the sun cut itself on the sharp peak and bled into the valley. Sense of smell is the most nostalgic of the five senses. Evoking the sense of smell is a great way of saying a lot with very few words. For example, the first smell of the sea through a car window, the smell of woodland in summer afternoon. Sense of sound is tricky to describe accurately. So here is a good place to use a figure of speech. One solution is using onomatopoeia. For example, the only sound was his grandmother's labored breathing and the mournful creak of the wooden stairs. Words related to sense of touch describes different types of textures. You can use them to describe feelings and abstract concepts like fluffy, gritty, rough, smooth. Taste and smell are closely related. Most of the taste and smell words are easy substitutes for words like good, nice, or bad. For instance, zesty, tantalizing, sweet, stinky, stale, bitter, yummy. There are various other words. The combination of all these senses develops an inward eye inside the writer, and he develops his own perspective and imagination to observe things. Dominant impression. Another step for writing a good descriptive is to focus on dominant impression. It works as a hook statement. It creates a mood or atmosphere. For example, the opening lines of Autumn Ballantyne's novel The Coral Island: "Rowing has always been and still is my ruling passion, the joy of my heart, the very sunshine of my existence." It is the quality, mood, or atmosphere that reinforces the writer's purpose. The effect of your essay depends upon the type of language that you have used in it. Therefore, avoid using vague and ambiguous words. Use descriptive adjectives to create imagery in reader's mind. Use of relevant vocabulary is an art in descriptive writing. It means that words are chosen carefully. The selection of proper synonyms makes the picture more and more vivid. An organized structure is an essential element of a descriptive writing. Spatial order is the best to describe a place. Chronological order is the best for describing event. It arranges detail in time order. Order of importance is the best for describing objects and people, putting the most important detail at its proper place. Coherence is the quality that makes your writing understandable. Sentences within a paragraph need to connect to each other and work together as a whole. One of the best ways to achieve coherency is to use transition words. These words create bridges from one sentence to the next. You can use transition words such as first, second, third, spatial relationship like below, above, or logic like furthermore, in addition, in fact. Now I discuss about the structure of a descriptive essay. Descriptive essay has three parts: introduction or beginning. Introduction should be very attractive and catchy. A proper thesis statement or a hook statement makes it attractive. Main body or event. Moving from introduction to the main body should be a flowing sequence of events from one paragraph to the second and third and so on. Conclusion or ending. The conclusion is the last part of the essay. This is your last chance to impress the reader. You can use appropriate words to an effective conclusion, such as to conclude, we can say in the light of above mentioned facts. Your conclusion will reinstate the thesis statement and presents the findings. Conclusion is to say again what you have already said. Let's recap what we have studied today. Elements of a descriptive writing: figurative language, sensory detail, dominant impression, precise language, and careful organization of thoughts. The second part was structure of a descriptive essay, in which we have studied introduction and beginning, main body, conclusion or ending. This topic